Welcome to the Uncensored Society podcast, where guests share their insights, experiences, and tactics to help you accelerate your business. So building, scaling, and monetizing your business is made easier. And now, your host, Kay Suthar.
Guys, oh my goodness, I am so excited for this episode. I have two really amazing people here. The names are John and Mark Cronin. They're a father and son team that founded John's Crazy Socks, a social enterprise with a mission to spread happiness. John, who's the son, is an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, a speaker, an athlete, and a dancer who just happens to have Down syndrome. You may have seen them on one of their many television appearances. You may know them from being named Entrepreneur of the Year, or because John became sock buddies with President George Bush. That's right, guys. Or you may know them from having bootstrapped a startup into a multi-million-dollar social enterprise. And get this, guys, the world's largest sock store. You will love their socks, but guess what? Their socks are just the physical manifestation of the happiness they share with the world. Please welcome John and Mark Cronin. Thank you for being here. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
Wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Kay. I really appreciate being here. That's great intro.
That was a great intro, huh?
That's great.
We got a lot to live up to.
So much.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, I have spoken to you guys previously, and you know, the changes you're making to the world, and the fact that, you know, you're brave enough to do something different, something very simple, but something so different at the same time. I knew I had to have you both on the show. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of your actual business, I would love for you to share with us the origin of how this business came about.
Well, Kay, that's a good place to start, right? Because origin stories, that's what gives us our DNA. So our story starts a little more than 5 years ago, back in the fall of 2016. And it starts in a small log cabin in the woods.
No,
it starts in suburban Long Island outside of New York City. And where were you, buddy?
I was at Huntington High School. I couldn't be my last school.
So John's in his last year of school, and like everybody else, trying to figure out, what do I do next?
Right.
And what were you looking at?
I like a job program in school. I do like the option I don't like.
He didn't see anything he liked. John had worked before. He'd worked for me in an office.
Yeah.
He'd worked in a kitchen at a day camp, wanted meaningful work. And unfortunately, that's a reality for too many people with a differing ability. There just aren't enough good options out there. In the US, you know, the first number you could look at is the unemployment rate for somebody with a disability is double the national average. But that doesn't begin to tell the story. Fewer than 1 in 5 people with a disability are employed. So it's awful. But John here, he's a natural entrepreneur.
Yes, I am.
If you didn't see a job you wanted, what were you going to do?
I want to create one. I want to make one.
Would you tell me?
I said, I want to go up there with my dad. A nice father and son being together.
He comes to me and says, Dad, let's go into business together.
Yes.
Now, okay, I'm a lucky man. I've got 3 sons, and this is one I can work with.
I love you.
But you work with entrepreneurs, so you know entrepreneurs always have ideas.
Yes.
Some of them are even good ideas. but so there we were. We're going to go into business together. We had to figure out what we were going to do. So what was one of your ideas?
One of them is a food truck. I got an idea from the movie Chef and John Farrow. The movie about a father and son bonding a food truck.
So a food truck, that seemed like a fun idea.
Right.
And we started thinking, what could we make? Where would we do it? I wasn't sure I wanted to be in a food truck all day. But we ran into a problem.
We can't cook.
Yeah. So it wasn't going to be a food truck. But then, right before the U.S. Thanksgiving, which is late November, John, you had your Eureka
I
moment.
did. I want to sell crazy socks. Why socks? It's fun. It's colorful. It's creative. I'll always let me be me.
John had worn these socks his whole life. We used to drive around looking for them. So this is what we figured. If John loved the socks that much, surely other people would too, and we could find our tribe. So that's what gave us the idea. And to get started, well, the traditional way to go would be to stop everything and prepare a business plan. Do your market research, your competitive analysis, your plan, your operational plan, financial forecast. That's not what we did.
Right.
We went the lean startup route. We said, let's get something up and running and just to test the idea. And the customers will let us know.
Right.
So, John, you already had the name.
Yeah, I got a name. I got a website. I got ideas.
So we built a website on the Shopify platform. We convinced some suppliers to sell to us. We were bootstrapping. So the only marketing we did, you got to make use with what you have. We set up a Facebook page, and I would take out my cell phone, and we made videos. And who was in those videos?
I am. I talk about socks. Socks, more socks.
Wait. Let me get it right. It was just about socks.
But we noticed something. Those videos started getting shared. And what day did we open?
We opened on a Friday, December 9th, 2016.
Ooh.
And we didn't know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
But we were very fortunate. We got 42 orders the first day. And most of them were local, which made sense, right? He was in the high school. We lived there, temporary office space there. So what did we do with those first orders?
I'll hold it for you.
We got red boxes, just like this. We got red boxes. We put the socks in the box.
Right.
And we looked at it and said, it needs something else. So what else did you put in?
I put a digging note I wrote and candy. I put Skittles.
Well, when we started, we got bags of Hershey's Kisses.
Right.
And would pour them in. Then we loaded up the car with the boxes and we drove around and you knocked on doors.
I did.
And how the customers respond.
Customers loved it, and they put it on social media. And I take a picture. I would against a spread.
Word began to spread. We had customers ordering again just to get John to come back to their door. So by the end of that month, really 2 weeks, we had shipped 452 orders.
No
we had
way.
$13,000 in revenue. And we knew we could make something of this business. We really learned 3 things. One,
people want to buy socks.
they want to buy socks.
Mm-hmm.
2,
People want to buy socks from me.
they want to buy from John. They related to John. They liked the personal touch of the thank you note and the candy and the home delivery. They liked the fact we had already pledged 5% of our earnings to the Special Olympics.
Right.
And we got something we didn't expect. We got a very emotional response from many people who took inspiration because they saw that John had Down syndrome and was starting a business. So we heard from families that had a child with Down syndrome or autism, or a relative or a friend. And you also learn by doing. So one of the things we learned was that this young man,
This is an old man.
and this old man, we could sell socks. So that's how we got started. And, even though we're much larger today, right? We've now, when we started, we had 37 different types of socks. We could put them all on one table. How many different socks do we? Go ahead.
I've got a question. Who designed the socks?
Well, when we started, we were selling other people's socks. So we were picking from their catalog, and the two of us would pick out what do we like. But how many different socks do we have now?
We have now 4,000 different kinds of socks and many choices.
4,000, many of which John has designed or we've designed. We still sell other people's socks, but that makes John the owner of the world's largest sock store.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Do you know what? And to be fair, I have gone onto your website, right? And I've checked out those socks and they look amazing, right? I love the yellow smiley face one, the one with burger and chips. I'm like, oh my goodness, right? And there a lot of those designs you don't see anywhere else.
No, there are many that are unique to us. And part of it is, a lot of businesses, the 80-20 rule applies, where 20% of your products account for 80% of your revenue. But that's not our case.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the attractions, one of the things that customers like, is you can personalize it, right? We heard the other day, we heard a lot, but from a customer who was actually telling somebody else, it's great for gifts because you don't know what to get to somebody, but you look there and you can always get something that's personal. Person likes pets, or they like science, or like food, or wine, or in John's case, poop.
A poop emoji.
Poop emoji. But it's still, we've now shipped over 375,000 orders to 88 different countries. But if we get an order between our office and home, what are you doing?
I still doing home deliveries.
Still doing home deliveries.
Really? Oh my goodness. Wait, so you're not just international, right? But you are still connecting with your local community and delivering your products by hand.
Yes.
Okay. I need to know more about this. Why? Why would you do that, right? And not just deliver like you do with the rest of the world?
Well, it gets into the heart of who we are and what we're about, right? So we've created a slightly different type of business model.
Okay.
It's a social enterprise. So we have both a social and a business drive, and they feed off of each other. And what's our mission?
Spreading happiness.
Spreading happiness. Everything we do is designed to spread some happiness, to make people feel good. And you're always talking about it. What do you say are the keys to happiness?
It's gratitude and do for others.
So we're always asking, what can we do for our customers? I mean, you've been around and you know people, many people have unfortunately gone through those horrid corporate mission statement exercises, and you parse the words and you put something on the wall and nobody pays attention.
Mm-hmm.
When you come in here, there's a big neon sign that says spreading happiness. It drives all of our decisions. We talk about it all the time. And when you do things with conviction, they make themselves manifest in everything you do. And everybody's on board. Right? So we built the business on 5 pillars.
It's in the home, giving back, find projects you can love, make it personal, make it a great place to work.
Wow.
So I'll work in reverse order there, making it a great place to work. So what's our mission, pal?
Spread happiness.
If we want to spread happiness to our customers and in the community, we have to start here, right? Our colleagues have to be happy working here. Our colleagues have to be engaged. They have to be in a position to do their best work.
Wait, whoa. Right, but when you start a business, isn't it all about just getting the sales?
No, certainly not for us. We can't tell everybody else what to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about transactions. We are looking at creating experiences. We're looking at building connections, and that's more sustainable, and that will carry us in the long run. So you start at home, because if we take care of our people, they will take care of the customers, right? You want to have systems, but we're not slaves to those systems. The systems support what we do, which leads to the next pillar, and that's make it personal. We're always looking at sharing experiences with our customers, and they become part of what we're doing. So, yes, it's exemplified by the candy and the note. You want to hold up the note?
Sure.
So to this day, every package gets a handwritten note from John. On the flip side of it, you get the story of John's crazy stocks and our giving back.
Right.
Every package gets some candy. What candy are we putting in now?
We have Skittles.
And here's, you learn as you do, right?
Right.
When we started, what candy did we have?
Hershey's Kisses.
Hershey's Kisses, which everybody loved.
Yes.
Until,
Me included.
until we got the email from the woman in Florida saying you may not want to send chocolate to the South because it's melting. So that's, you learn by doing. So that's why we have Skittles. On every packing, we include two discount cards.
I 2 discount cards, one for our customers, one I give to a friend.
On the packing slip, you'll see the name and the picture of the person who packed your order. So when you're getting that package, we're not just sending you socks. That's an experience. It's a little dose of happiness. It's got John's smiling picture on the outside of the package. Just opening the package will make you feel good. And our customers love it. And how do we know? Because they tell us, because they're always posting pictures on social media and doing unboxing videos. And it gets through other parts we do. Our customers know that when they buy from us, they're not just getting socks. They're helping us hire people with differing abilities. They're supporting our giving back program.
Right.
They're supporting our advocacy. They're helping us spread happiness. So all of our customers become philanthropists. It's because it's part of that experience. And, I said, if you do things with conviction, everybody gets involved. So here's an example.
Okay.
We sell socks for diabetics, these high compression socks. Well, and we do our own fulfillment, our own pick and pack warehouse. So one day, one of our happiness packers comes and says, we're sending socks to diabetics and we're sending them candy. What's wrong with that picture? So now we have a supply of sugar-free candy. So if you order diabetic socks, we give you sugar-free candy. If you order from a military base, we have a special package to say thank you for your service.
Wow.
Most businesses, you'll know that your email list is vitally important. And people will segment that so you can personalize it. We segment our fulfillment. We have 5 different base packages. Now every package has the thank you note and the candy. But if this is your first order, you get one package. If it's your third order, you get a different package. If it's your 5th order, you're getting a different package. Anything we can do to increase that personal experience. Does this make sense to you?
It does. And, there's so much heart and effort that both of you put into this, right, with every single one of your clients. And you mentioned that John, he handwrites a note on every single package. I mean, how is that possible if you're sending thousands?
To be fair, we will photocopy that handwritten note.
Right.
We once saw a string on Reddit of people trying to calculate how many hours would it take John to write all these notes.
Yeah, I probably like 24 hours.
But there are a lot of personal notes. It's still the home delivery. John, if you send us a picture or video, John sends you a video back.
Oh.
He gets on the phone. Customers call. John gets on the phone. Here's one. if you're in e-commerce or really any business, but if you're in e-commerce, you know how important your email list is.
Yes.
And every time you send out your email, an email blast, or you'll see a little blip in sales. So it's very tempting to send out a lot of emails.
Right.
And, there are companies I get 3 emails a day from. Nobody wants 3 emails a day. So that's part of it. Right? You got to respect your customer.
Right.
So we send out 2 emails a week. And one of them is from John. But it's not a sales email. It's John updating people, letting people know, this is what I'm up to. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's sharing. And we have over a 40% open rate on those emails when most people will get a 10% or less. It's because you nurture those relationships.
Yes, I agree. I do have a question though, right? And maybe John, you can answer this for me. When you first decided to start this sock business, were you scared of taking that risk?
Were you afraid?
No, I never get afraid. I just do it, and I know I can do it because I believe myself and my confidence, because I want to go into business.
Wow, that is amazing. Like, so many people, when they think about starting a business, are so scared, John, right? So what did you do to overcome any fear and have so much courage and confidence to keep moving forward?
My faith, when I'm done school, I done anything, and I've been looking around.
You thought you could do this.
I still want to do this, and I believe myself. I have confidence. I know I can do it because
we set it up to test.
right?
Did.
Did.
If it failed, we would do something else. Failure is only temporary. You learn things. But here's an example of John. You asked us about designing the socks.
Yes.
Well, and I told you when we first started, we only sold other people's socks. So it's now January of 2017. We're just getting started. We are learning firsthand.
Yes.
Nobody buys anything in January because they spent all their money at the holidays.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's when we realized that people celebrate World Down Syndrome Day, which is what day?
A day is March 21st.
March 21st. They celebrate that by wearing crazy socks.
No way.
So we go out looking for a Down syndrome sock that we could sell. Nobody made one.
No.
And we couldn't find one. And what'd you say?
I said I want to make one. I want to create one. This is my idea of those socks I created.
So John designed the world's first Down syndrome awareness sock.
Amazing.
It says 3 Heart 21 because you get Down syndrome by having a third or an extra 21st chromosome.
Pillars.
But so when you ask about fear,
yes,
John you're very good in inspiring about, okay, here's where we are, here's where we're at. What are we going to do? How are we going to find a way forward? That's there. I think you might be able to separate the world into 2 groups of people. There's one group that are going to tell you why all the time, why this is not going to work, or it's too hard, or you're not ready, or don't do it. And the other group are, okay, how are we going to get this done? How are we going to make this happen?
Exactly.
right.
And as this is me. This is me of who I am. I face myself. I have Down syndrome. Down syndrome never hold me back.
It does not.
Now, I mean, John, you've never had fear, right? It sounds like you knew exactly what you wanted to do. You went for it, right? But Mark, how about you? Did you ever think at some point, what am I getting myself into?
Oh, plenty of time. Listen, John came with the idea and it was fun, and I'm an entrepreneur. So, okay, let's go test this. Now, the truth of the matter is I've never worked in retail. I've never run a warehouse,
Right.
never worked in fashion making things. We did do that lean startup approach and we were testing it. If it had failed then, we probably would have moved on to something else.
Right.
But the approach that we've had has evolved. I'm 63 years old, so it's evolved over 60 years.
You're old.
I know I'm old.
Tell it how it is, John.
The approach you have, and it's something that we believe in deeply. And we've been able to find other people to come along for the adventure. So there have been times that have been very difficult. I'll share, you've got a lot of entrepreneurs listening to this show. So we're bootstrapping. When we started, our first 2 years, we had phenomenal growth, driven a lot by viral events and media coverage.
Oh, wow.
But watch what you ask for, you may get it. So at the end of our second year, we had a fabulous year in terms of revenue. On paper, we made a profit. Everybody was happy, but I had no money. Like, where was the money? Well, the money was all tied up in inventory and in equipment. And so we knew that in our third year, 2019, we knew that would be a different year, that we couldn't count on the viral events and extra media coverage. I went looking for capital at that point. The banks all came in and said, oh, we love this. We love the story. We love the growth. We love the profit. We're not going to give you any money, though. You're a startup and you can't personally guarantee this. We had investors coming in and we had some talking with proposals to us. But what they wanted to do was to shut us down and buy the brand. And I knew, that's not what we were about, and the brand would evaporate. So as the year went on, we started losing money. We had overhired. We had lots of inventory. And I started borrowing money just to make payroll. Things got uglier. We then were counting on a big holiday season, but that never came through because we didn't have the money for inventory. So by the end of the year, we were in virtual bankruptcy. I remember sitting with a bankruptcy law firm, with them walking through and saying, you absolutely have to declare bankruptcy. But they wanted $50,000 up front. And I'm looking at them saying, guys, if I had $50,000, I wouldn't be talking to you.
Right.
The good news is we had fought to stay alive long enough and listened and met with enough potential investors. We kissed a lot of toads, as it were.
Oh, yeah.
That we found the ideal strategic partner. That we met in December of 19. Our first meeting was going to be a half-hour meeting. We spent 5 hours together. Within a week, we had a handshake agreement, and we signed a deal in the beginning, in mid-February of 2020, which gave us it's a third-generation family business that shared values. They've been manufacturing socks for 60 years. They make them for department stores and brand names. So it gave us financial stability and also the manufacturing heft to grow the business. So what I'll share out there is we were learning a lesson about maybe overhiring and making sure you are adequately capitalized. And just keep fighting to stay alive.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Just And we've been able, 2020, you may have heard there was a pandemic.
Oh, just a little bit.
We-
It was a whisper,
We were able to stabilize, and then last year we grew the business 47% in our gross revenue, and this year we're already growing and moving into new markets. So, if you ask me, did I always know? No. When we started, we didn't know where it would be.
Right.
I think it's the difference between optimism and confidence. Optimism might be, oh, we're going to hit this target by this date. Confidence is, we know we're going to get there.
Right.
We're not quite sure how, we're not quite sure when, but we know we're going to get there. And for us, there is no end point. There is no, there's no exit strategy.
No.
It's what Simon Sinek might call, or does call, the infinite game.
Right. That is amazing. And I know there's probably a lot of people that's listening to this episode thinking, can you actually make millions of dollars by selling socks? Like, it doesn't seem possible, right? But it's not the socks that's necessarily the sell point or that's making the change. It's the mission and the story behind it. Is that right?
Yes. Our overall strategy is drive the mission. That drives the brand. That drives sales. And then it becomes a positive reinforcing cycle. Right. So we started talking about our pillars. Well, one of them, it's got to be a core pillar. You got to have great products. It's got to be fun products. So it's both about what we sell. But as an e-commerce store, we've got to have a great website. We've got to have great selection. It's those 4,000 socks. You've got to have great products. So we have over 29,000 five-star reviews. 96% of our reviews are five-star reviews. You've got to have great service. So we do same-day shipping. An order comes in, it's going out the same day. We do better shipping than Amazon. And Jeff Bezos over at Amazon, he's not putting a thank you note in candy in those packages.
That's very true.
But even though we have a very strong social mission, you still have to have this solid business operations. And we never want to be a pity business. We never want to be a business where John is out there saying, buy from me because I have Down syndrome. Mm-hmm. It's buy from me because I have great products, great service, and you're going to make a difference.
Yes.
And then there's the giving back. And this is something I think people, we want to share how this works. It's not, well, let's wait till the end of the year and see if we have money, and then we'll write a check. Okay. And we've had many people, very smart people, say, that's what you should be doing. But the giving back is baked into everything we do. So we start by pledging 5% of earnings to the Special Olympics. And why the Special Olympics?
I am an Olympic athlete.
We create products. We have a whole line of products that raise awareness and celebrate causes and raise money for those causes. So I already showed you the Down syndrome awareness socks. We have a whole line of Down syndrome socks, but also autism.
We have animal rescue.
Pet rescue socks and Gold Together socks who fight pediatric cancer. And they raise money for charity partners like the American Cancer Society, the North Shore Animal League, the Autism Society of America, the National Down Syndrome Society. But here's the thing. People buy from us because of those commitments. So the giving back becomes good business. Right. Then the most important thing we do is let's show what's possible. Let's show what entrepreneurs can do. Let's show the power of the social enterprise. But mainly it's let's show what people with differing abilities can do. So we've been very fortunate. We've created 34 jobs. 22 of them are held by people with a differing ability. And then we want to show the world. So we create content all the time. And we have 240,000 Facebook followers. Now we're up to, I think, about 70,000 TikTok followers. We create content to share with them. We host tours and work groups. With the pandemic, we put the tours online. So now we've had school groups from around the world come and visit. So students with a different ability can see, oh, I can work. I can get a job. There is a possibility. We do a lot of speaking engagements. We do these podcast interviews. That's why, Kay, we're so grateful that you have us on, because we get to tell the story. We get to show, look what you can do. Right? We succeed because of the people we hire. Right? We've done 2 TEDx talks. The most recent one, the theme was hiring people with different abilities is not altruism. It's good business. And we make the business argument as to why, if you're willing to hire people with different abilities, you have a competitive advantage. And we do advocacy work. We stand up. The business has given us a platform. Right? You've been willing to have us on your show. So that creates an obligation for us that we have to make the most of it. So we'll stand up for the people that can't speak for themselves. We've testified twice before the U.S. Congress. We've spoken at the United Nations. 2 weeks ago, the New York State legislature passed a resolution honoring John and our business. We got introduced on the floor of the New York State Assembly, but we got to talk to them about changes that need to be made so people with different abilities can earn money, make it easier for them to get a job and to retain their earnings and be paid fairly. So you roll all of that up, you get John's Crazy Socks. Yeah. So it's very rich. And when our customers are engaged, right, they're not just buying socks. They're part of all of this.
Yes. This is, oh my goodness, this is amazing, and it's mind-blowing to me, guys. Like, you guys are awesome, right? The perfect partnership, right? Father and son, business partners like crazy, and the banter that you guys have is amazing. Well, and I've got to say, John, you are very, very cheeky, and I absolutely love it, right?
Right.
Well, But there's a thing here, and we want other people to know this. Mm-hmm. There's not a single thing we describe that requires the proverbial rocket science. Right. It's all common sense. It's all basic.
Yes.
At the end of the day, we're just a couple of knuckleheads selling socks. And yet, all we want to do
is change the world.
Change the world.
Amazing.
Right? Anybody can do this. We're not special.
But you're just taking action and you're making it happen.
Yeah, well, I do have a great partner.
I have a good partner like him.
Amazing. Now, guys, I know at this point, people are probably thinking, oh my goodness, how do I get hold of these socks? How can I help with the mission? So where can people go to connect with you?
You go at John's Crazy Socks.com.
John'sCrazySocks.com. It's our website.
Yep.
And know when you buy from us, right? You help us hire people with different abilities, you help us give back. Most of all, you help us spread happiness. But you can also find us on all of the social media platforms, particularly Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're starting to get active on LinkedIn. And check out our podcast.
Yeah, you can listen to a Spreading Happiness podcast with John and Mark.
The Spreading Happiness podcast is on all of the platforms. We've just gotten started. Our 9th episode was just released. It's a half hour each week. All we want to do is put a smile on your face.
Yes.
So it's us bantering back and forth. It's updates on what John is up to.
Yes.
We have a couple of standard features We talk about trying to get in shape and lose weight.
Yeah, and we talk about our good news stories.
Good news stories. You tell some
jokes. And I'm going to share about my love life.
Yeah, John gives an update on his love life.
Ooh.
So it's just designed to make people feel good in a day and age. Yeah. Yesterday, we were interviewed on ABC News, and they had us on the end of the show. It was on their streaming service, but we're watching the news, waiting for our piece to come on, and there's so much bad news and sad news out there that if we can just bring a little joy, if we can make people smile, we love hearing from our customers when they tell us, when I put your socks on, it just makes me feel good, makes me happy.
Right.
And we have one other thing.
Yeah.
We got lots of things. What do you do every Tuesday afternoon?
Every Tuesday afternoon, I host a dance party every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Either time. It's fun.
John hosts
on Zoom.
An online dance party. So you'll get 100 people dancing on Zoom. It's a wonderful thing to see. What better way to spread happiness?
Yeah. Oh my God, I love dancing.
You can connect to all that, at our website. So you go to the website, you can see the link for the podcast, for the dance party.
Yes.
For our Autism Can Do scholarship, for all sorts of things. We do speaking engagements. You can get a link there, right?
Absolutely.
You're a busy man.
Yes, I am.
They used to say that
it's James Brown.
James Brown. They used to say that James Brown was the hardest working man in showbiz.
And it's living on the log.
John here is the hardest working man in Sockdom.
A hard day night, sleeping low.
Amazing. Oh my goodness. I love the both of you. You do bring so much joy everywhere you guys go. Amazing. Now, guys, all the links that John and Mark have mentioned will be in the show notes. So if you missed them, please go through the show notes down below where you'll be able to catch all those links. And make sure you guys connect with both of them. They are amazing. They are hilarious. And they are making an impact. Thank you, John and Mark, for joining us on this amazing episode. It was amazing to have you here.
Kay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful.
I'm so glad that you feel the same way. Thank you, guys. Thanks for listening to the Uncensored Society podcast at www.uncensoredsocietypodcast.com. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can get this and every other episode that's coming out. We have lots of great stuff coming, so make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss it. And thank you in advance for all the reviews and comments. I appreciate it so much, and I look forward to serving you in next week's episode.